Hi, everybody. I'm immigration lawyer John Ravi. Thank you for joining us today. It is May 23rd, 2023, Tuesday, like we always do, Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. We come live to talk to you and take your questions about U.S. immigration law, one of the most convoluted and confusing parts of U.S. law, very politicized and constantly changing all over the place. Many different categories of stuff that pop up, from family to employment-based to investment to humanitarian issues. It touches upon the reality of the human condition. But that's what we're here to do, to answer questions, general educational questions. For the stuff, I focus on more in immigration. Mr. Tuss says, good day, attorney. Good to see you. And what we do is take your questions live here, do our best to answer them. We also give away free video consultations. To take part in that, you have to be watching the live show on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, all these different places. And just ask your question and write consultation at the end. You also have to like and subscribe. That's the main part of it. But if you don't have a question you want to ask here, you can say consultation, but just say it once. We'll catch your name. And my wonderful assistant, Katrina, will randomly pick 3 people throughout the show, and I'll give you instructions if your name is called. So stay tuned throughout the show to get a chance to win a free video consultation. Many do. We have a great time talking with you in private. A lot of good people. So having said that, we have questions, just shoot them out. I do have a guide called John's Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide that breaks down the fiancé process, the marriage green card process. It's what you need to use to start with if you're thinking about doing a marriage-based immigration case. It breaks the whole situation down, and then go talk to a lawyer once you have the information you need before filing. So we'll take it there. So yes, we are live. Oops, I am live on Immigration Lawyers, the wrong Instagram account. So if you're watching on Instagram, I went to another company I have its Instagram account. Wonderful assistant Katrina, thank you for notifying me of that. But hey, your questions have to trickle in. We'll get the show started. If you have a first one, Jose asked, what's Jose's question? We'll get it in there while I'm fixing the Instagram feed for JQK Law Firm. Jose's question is, we went to our I-485 adjustment of status interview on April 20th, 2023. It's been over 30 days. It's something that does pop up, where you have an interview with immigration, and the situation is you do a marriage green card interview, for example. Here, I believe it's a marriage green interview. You talk with them, and they don't give a decision immediately, and 30 days go by. It's not necessarily the worst thing. Sometimes it just takes 30 days. Typically, in these situations, what we do is I send a letter to the officer, and I say, hey, officer, by the way, is there anything we'd help with to make a decision on this, to move the case forward? If we see nothing happens, it lingers and months goes by. You can try getting congressional help, maybe the ombudsman's office, but potentially at that point, they're looking into doing a marriage investigation. That's why it's taking that long. That's hopefully not the case, because it turns into a nightmare if they're doing a marriage investigation into your background. So first of all, like if I was the attorney, if I was going to contact my office, I would need to talk with you first to look over the documents you submitted to the government to see how strong they were and what potential red flags existed there. Then go through the interview with you, what was said. Did anything stand out that was problematic, that could be a problem? So we have to look at these, and so I'm like, oh, you said this thing, that's going to be a problem, and because of that, they may do an investigation. Or I can say, okay, it just might be one of those things that takes a while to happen, so that's that. So, it's not necessarily time to be afraid if 30 days have gone by. That does happen. Ideally, that's a situation like that wouldn't happen, but it is something that's happened. I first want to know the case first before I'd recommend contacting them, because we want to make sure we have all the information we need, everything in order. But that's something that could be, to watch out for. And so thanks for the question, Jose. We are live on Instagram, JK Law Firm, and get a lot of good people watching. Mo says, God bless you as well, Mo. Greetings, Kong. Thank you so much. If you have a question, just shoot it out. Jose does follow up, actually says, we went to our interview April 20th, I-45. I said, waiver officer told us around a week to review our case. Okay, so you have a waiver. So Jose, that the additional piece of information changes everything. Waiver cases, it may take forever. They got to approve the waiver, and it's unclear how long that'll take. So you got to wait for the waiver. It's not a quick thing that they're necessarily going to approve, and that's what's holding it back. And Frank says, greetings to you too. Mo says, I'm a U.S. citizen. I applied for my wife for I-130 6 months ago. Can I apply for a K-3 visa now? Will that help to move the I-130 faster, even if the K-3 is rejected? Do you recommend? I'm not allowed to recommend stuff to people here because I'm not your attorney, but it should be something to look into to file the K-3. It is possible to file the I-129F petition for a K-3 right now. I don't know enough about your case. I'm just not allowed to recommend something because this is for general education purposes only. No attorney-client privileges there. Consult an attorney about your case in private. So, Mo, I can't recommend you something, but it's something to look at for sure. Why not? There's no filing fee for the I-129 out of K3. So if appropriate, that might be something you should look into filing and see what happens. It doesn't hurt in a sense. And the hurt would be if the K3 is approved, it creates some sort of extra paperwork, makes it more expensive. So you kind of don't want the K3 to be approved. You just want it to have the effect of speeding up the I-130 case, because the I-130 based on marriage, U.S. citizen, taking 12 to 13 months right now. So you got to wait longer on average. So it's a pretty mess. But thank you for your question, Mo. I appreciate it. Ome says, I haven't updated my case from F21 to IR1, but they put me in administrative processing. Yeah, unfortunately, administrative processing there. If it takes too long, you try suing them for the delay, but that pops up. Tony asks, hi, my adjustment of status is granted by a judge in the immigration court. What are the next steps? We have to work on having, USCIS issue the green card. You probably have an immigration attorney if you're doing this, and they'll fill you in on the next steps of paying the fee and all that kind of stuff for that to be issued. Pashin asks, my boyfriend first came to U.S. legal entry with a student visa, but then he came again by Mexico illegally. Okay, I'd have to see what's going on there. I wish he didn't do that, but there's a lot more going on in that case. Not something I just answered here. Definitely talk to the attorney in private. Ganesh asks, my form I-485 says actively being reviewed by USCIS. Is there any specific time limit when a decision is made? No, there's absolutely no time limit. And there's another question, friends. How long does it take to do backgrounds, check backgrounds? There are no time limits with USCIS, except for if you do your citizenship interview, they have to give you a decision in 120 days, but sometimes they don't, and you got to sue them to make them act. So that's the only thing. Other than that, there are no time limits in immigration. You can always sue them to act, but there are no time limits. I'm going to take some quick questions on Instagram. We got a bunch. Dr. Kong says, please, I wish to ask what's going on with the F2A. Unfortunately, a backlog was created there, so it's going to be more waiting. Melly asks, do you know the estimated time for a travel document through marriage green card? 8-10 months, maybe longer, maybe shorter. Dr. Kong is talking about his individual case. I can't get into that, unfortunately, individual cases. Midwest law says this, as an immigration lawyer that wants to be the best, I look to John as a standard of the best immigration lawyer. Well, that's so nice of you. God bless you. I appreciate that. That's just kind words. I don't know to say that, but other than thank you, it's always very kind. Appreciate it. Dr. Fong, consult in private.com. Got a lot of questions here. At this point, it's better to talk with the attorney in private, schedule a consultation with our office, and we go to it. Can't get too much into an individual case because, we can't give legal advice here. It's just general educational channel. But thank you. We'll take the next question. The Dusty Rock says, is it difficult for a foreign attorney to migrate and get work as an immigration in the United States? Well, the difficulty varies. One is it difficult for a foreign immigration to immigrate to the United States? Immigrating has a lot of technical difficulties in getting a visa, getting a green card, getting work authorization. So it can be difficult. For example, if you're some countries have a treaty with the United States where if you're coming to the United States, you could run a business and live here. So let's say you're from Colombia, you're a lawyer there. You potentially get a work visa, an E2 visa, and start your own business and come. That's easy. But if you're from China or Russia, you can't do that. So it's harder. So it depends where you're coming from and what background you have. And then secondly, you get work as an immigration attorney in the U.S. Well, it depends on, your hustle, your connections, what you want to do, if you have a bar license or not. It depends on a lot of different factors. So, I see difficulties in the eye of the beholder. If you want to make something happen, you're going to make it happen. It's not about being easy or hard. There's a lot of things in life that are easy that people are having difficulty getting because they don't put their mind to it. Not to, say everything is everyone's fault, but sometimes things are really easy and people aren't doing it. So I don't look at things as easy or difficult. It's like, do you want it? And are you going to go get it? And that's the way you just got to deal with life. And so I'll look at that perspective. If you want to come here to be an immigration attorney, figure out how to get it done. It's definitely doable. You just got to get it done. All right, next question is popping up. Neval says, it's been 5 months since I filed my I-130, but I cannot track my case with the online access code they gave me. I requested a new one. So don't worry about the online access code. USCIS.gov has a case tracking system. You put in your case number there. It says what happens, where the case is. Having said that, it very rarely doesn't matter to track your case. It's going to get done when it gets done. And you'll notice in the mail, hopefully you haven't changed addresses. And if you did, you updated them. But what's the point of tracking I-130? When they want to contact you, they'll send you a letter. But if you really want to, take your receipt number, plug it into the USCIS case status program, and you'll get what you need there. You don't have to do a login necessarily. Ira says, any interview soon? I have no idea, no timelines. No one does when the interview is going to happen. Aminat asks, hello, sir. What is the processing time duration to bring our children? We have through Surrogate Africa to USA. there are no real processing times. Hopefully it's faster, but the immigration bar timelines just are non-existent. I'm going to take a quick question on Instagram. Olufi says, good evening, sir. Keep up the good work going, sir. I appreciate it. God bless you, Olufemi. I appreciate that. Next question that's coming up is, let's see. Joe Celta says, hi, attorney. I petitioned my last 2016. I'm guessing your child. He is over 21, and until now, he's not here yet. What I want to do. Joselita, your question is kind of all over the place. I can't figure out what you're exactly saying. I'm guessing you have a child over 21 you petitioned for. That's going to take years, unfortunately. So you just got to be patient. But if you kind of word it a little better, or give me a better idea of how to answer that. Hazel Eye says, why, if you didn't get to move but abuse took place in the marriage? What if you didn't get to move in but abuse took place in the marriage? I don't know. I don't know what your status is or what kind of thing you're trying to keep. Hazel Eyes, schedule best schedule private consultation, something so personal like this. But I'm not sure what exactly your question is. So if there's abuse, maybe something you can do. Ashley says, if I filed an I-90 form, but my green card is not expired, can I still travel internationally? So you can only file a form I-90 to renew your 10-year green card if your green card is expired or has only 6 months left on it. Once you do file for it, you'll get a receipt. And our receipt, I think, is going to be a 2-year automatic extension. So you can still travel with the unexpired green card, but if you're going to be outside the U.S. after it expires, you need to have that receipt with you. The green card plus receipt, bring those together. You can travel with that. That'll take care of what you need. Just make sure it's the Form I-90 you need to file, renewing a 10-year green card. If you have a 2-year green card that you want to turn into a 10-year green card, you got to file either Form I-751 if you have a marriage-based case, or an I-8. There's another one that's for if you did it through investment EB-5 program, I-829, I believe. Paul asks, I received an RFE for I-130. Do sworn affidavits to support marriage have to be notarized? They do have to be notarized, but there's language that you can use that we use based on the Code of Federal Regulations that do the same job as being notarized. If you download the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide at marriageimmigrationlaw.com, the PDF at the end of it will have a sample of one of these letters and the language that says, I swear, and there's some certain language you can use to take the place. But if you got an RFE on I-130, which is rare, and you want to use affidavits, probably better just do a regular notarization. I rarely would get an RFE on that. So if they did, you got to be very careful how you answer it. You really should get a lawyer at this point if you got an RFE, because rarely is there an RFE on I-130. You just want to probably work with a professional on that. Now we'd ask, can you file an I-612 and I-130 at the same time? I-612, let me see what that was. I don't really handle I-612. Let me see what form that is. Application for waiver of foreign residency requirement, 212. That's not necessarily how it works. So you're talking about a J1 waiver, I-612. So they're different things. You don't file I-612 per se directly. If you're talking about J1 2-year home residency waiver, it depends on what the reason is you got the 2-year home residency requirement. Usually you could get it fixed by going to the embassy of your home country. So you got to file the form out with the Department of State, send it to the embassy. Embassy fixes all this kind of stuff. The I-130 could be filed, but you'll be prevented from doing if you're subject to the 2-year home residency requirement and it has not been waived yet, is filing for adjustment of status until DOS gives an approval, or finishing up consular processing. So yeah, I-130 you can submit at any time. Whether it's appropriate to do that in your case or not, I don't know. But I wouldn't go into saying I-612. You got to talk about the 2-year home residency requirement waiver, and you don't necessarily file for I-612 in most types of it. It's kind of internally done. It depends on what kind of case you have and stuff like that, but we don't typically do that directly unless it's certain types of waivers. Johnny says, how are your processing times? It's different for everybody. Grand asks, on an F1 student visa in the U.S., can I work for an overseas company and get paid through my home country bank? So, this whole idea of remote work as it is right now is a new phenomenon. It didn't really exist as much when the immigration laws were made. So the laws aren't really exact on whether this is a problem or not. So because of that, the conservative answer is don't do that. Some officers may say it's okay, some won't. Generally, I don't recommend doing it, but the laws are all over the place as to whether that's considered unauthorized employment or not, because the work is for an overseas company and you're getting paid outside the U.S. You're not taking the U.S. person's job. Arguments could go both ways, and you don't want that because they cut against you. So, I don't recommend doing that. Just be safe. but the laws aren't as clear. I've seen some officers, particularly with CBP, the Customs Border Protection, the officers you see at the airport where your customs are coming in, most of them I've seen their interpretation is it's okay. USCIS, maybe yes, maybe no. Department of State later on, maybe yes, maybe no. So I wouldn't want to rock the boat because it's so sensitive. It's typically not worth it to risk it. But thank you for your question. On Instagram, Y Foster says, "What are the options, potential actions I should take?" I don't know. I don't see the rest of your question. So just talk with the lawyer private. That's the best one. Vanessa says, "I have a friend applying for her green card, but her husband doesn't want to go to the interview. What should she do?" She should talk with the attorney private to see what's going on in their life and potentially if there's the VAWA claim. Wife says, "What about perm filed on November?" Why for Forest Cats, you guys schedule a private consultation. We don't give individual legal guidance in this much, dedicated way right here. This is for general kind of stuff. You best to talk to the attorney private. That's what you should do in these kind of cases when you have detailed issues you want to go over like that. Well, they have some more questions on YouTube. Tammy asks, "I'm a U.S. citizen. We got to announce some winners of our with 18 minutes have gone by. We forgot to announce some winners. So if you get a chance, Katrina, please name a winner or two on our free consultation giveaway. The first one is Tammy. Well, Tammy, AI, your says, "I'm a U.S. citizen. Can I petition marry sibling kids?" You can if the kids are under 16. It's going to take a couple of years, probably a year or two, probably. Depends what country they're from. But Tammy, you're a winner for a free video consultation. So just take a screenshot where you're watching this so I can see your username. That is you. Email it to me at info@jqklaw.com. We have a private chat with you and your spouse to talk about the case and the children. And there's issues of custody that come up. There's issues of their age, how old they are when you got married. All this kind of country they're from, if they have military service at all. So there's a lot of things we got to get down. We got to talk about private. So you got a free video consultation. We'll discuss that then. For those just tuning in, we give away free video consultations if you're watching a live show. Just got to like and subscribe and write consultation and ask a good question. We'll name you off. If you win it, we take care of you. We got 2 more to give away. And I realize I'm talking really fast this whole show, but I'm excited right now. So I talk fast and I'm excited. On YouTube, you can slow it down and listen to it at half speed. Because we get a lot of complaints, not comments. Hey, talk too fast. But unfortunately, I like talking immigration, and I like to answer as many questions as possible. We do timestamps. So if you go old videos, you'll see timestamps. There'll be like 40 questions, bam, 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 answer like that. I like it that way. Hopefully it helps out. But I like talking immigration and helping as many people as possible in the show. So God bless. Let's get to the next question. Ganesh asks, "To provide bona fide marriage, is it better to put partner's name in life insurance, beneficiary name? We really don't want to open joint account as we have our own separate bank account." So you shouldn't do anything for the purposes of immigration. But if you do have life insurance and you do want to list the partner as a beneficiary, yeah, that's something that could help. But don't do it just for immigration purposes. Allah is saying, "One of our regulars, Lucia, hi, John. Do you think a 2022 lottery winner can be scheduled for an interview before someone that has been waiting for 7 months? If you won in 2022, I think it's too late or something. I mean, that's over. But yeah, interviewing is based on your number where you are in line for the Diversity Visa Lottery. So some people, if that earlier date is good, but 2022, I think that lottery is over. I think you're out of luck on that one, probably. Hi, Briz. What can I do if I've been here since 2009? I was 12 when they brought me here. So I don't know. There's not much you can do. You might have missed the boat on DACA. I'm not sure. Maybe you should have filed it. If you didn't file it, it may be too late right now unless they change the laws. If you're a victim of some abuse, if you're a witness to a serious crime, there may be some options. You have to talk to attorney private to see if there's some unique circumstances that help you out. But unfortunately, it's not a good situation. Evangelina says, "Attorney, I'm currently here in Hong Kong. If my interview location will change here, will it be more longer to wait by the Philippines? P.S. I'm not qualified." Yeah, if you move, it's going to delay things because you go on a new line for another embassy, and the Philippines is one of the longest waits. So the last thing you want to do is go to the Philippines. I know it's expensive in Hong Kong, but stay in Hong Kong. That should be faster than the Philippines for sure, because Philippines is hugely backed up. Magic says, "Hi there. Firstly, thank you for all your help. You're welcome. God bless you. Is it possible for my spouse to travel to the U.S. on a tourist visa after we file I-130 strictly to visit?" It's possible, and people do it. The answer I'm supposed to give you as an attorney that most attorneys will give you if you want YouTube and stuff says, no, it's impossible. You're going to get denied for fraud, this and that. But over 10 or 15 years of doing this, I've had so many clients not listen to that advice. They come and have no problems that I can't give it. These are the risks. One, first of all, she has to get a visa. So if she already has a visa, that's one thing. But if she's going to apply for a visa, getting a tourist visa is hard right now because of the backlog. in that application, you got to make sure all the information matches and is correct and honest. Any is wrong or lying becomes a huge problem later. You have to mention you have a petition pending. You have to mention you have a spouse in the U.S. These are big reasons for them to deny the tourist visa. But let's say your tourist visa gets approved, and it does sometimes in a timely fashion, and you visit. When you're entering at the airport, the officer at the airport may be skeptical and say, oh, you're coming here to adjust status, and we're going to kick you back and stuff like that. You got to be honest. They may look at your phone. If they see evidence of you wanting to stay, that's bad. Have a return ticket. Have hopefully a job lined up back home or have an existing job. Make sure it's temporary to see your spouse, and just be honest if it really is. If you don't want to stay here, don't do that. But if you really come as a visitor and your emails and phone history show you have a return ticket, you honestly want to go back, I can't tell you not to. Who wants to be separated from their spouse so long? So the hiccup is if you already have the green card, the tourist visa, is dealing with the officer at the port of entry. Just be prepared to talk with them if they want to get into it and be able to answer them honestly. And that's that. So it's a risk to it to a certain extent, but honesty is the key. If there's any thought that they're lying at the airport, they're going to give you expedited removal with a fraud misrepresentation claim, and that is going to be a problem to fix. It's going to take even longer years to fix that with the backlog there is for waivers of misrepresentation. Oscar on Instagram asks, hi, how do you find out where we are in the I-130 spouse application when it goes to the NBC? Well, you're either at the NBC and you're doing the paperwork, then you submit it and you wait for them to document to qualify you. Once they do that, you wait for an interview. It should be pretty straightforward. You'll know where you are in that, but how soon you're going to get documents qualified, how long the NBC is taking, how soon they're going to interview, there are no ways to track that. Kojo asks, VAWA approved, waiting on medical and interview, advanced parole about to expire. Should I renew? Yeah, why not? There's no fee for it. Just do it. Hi, when can I apply for I-618 after submitting I-130? I-130? No, your I-130 has to be approved, and then your case has to be sent to the National Visa Center. You pay the National Visa Center fee, $445, get the receipt, and then you submit Form I-618 at that time. Unfortunately, I-618s are taking years right now. It's out of control, so be prepared for the long haul. Lively says, can I fix my wife even though she got deported on 2020? We married for 9 years. Maybe we got to. This is a huge kind of complex kind of question. Not something I can answer here. Maybe possible. Johnny says, if I receive an RFE for the medical, does this mean the interview is being waived? How long does it take to make a decision? So probably the interview is going to be waived, most likely, not guaranteed. How long does it take? 99 out of 100 times, like a few weeks after that, you'll be done. I have one case, it's been 45 days. It's a very clean case. Still nothing's happened. It's very frustrating. Clients are annoyed, obviously. I'm annoyed. But I think they're going to get approved. It's just they're being a mess. But mostly within a month. Hazel says, what if abuse took place before moving in, VAWA? Maybe it's just we got to look at the whole thing. This is too case specific, Hazel. I definitely schedule a consultation in my office to talk with the attorney about a VAWA case and take it from there and see what's going on. Zarim says, let's see really quick. Maximilian had a question there. I want to see. Let's see. Full-time commission offering 20. Okay, that's not a question we could get in here. Okay, Zarim says, how can my 16-year-old sister sponsor my parents or brothers? She can't. She has to be 21. Nothing she could do at that point to help out directly. Fernandez says, what happens if I remarried a U.S. citizen that isn't my green card sponsor? Will it be an issue at citizenship? Yeah, it can be. If they doubt your relationship that you had the first one. If you heard that ticking sound, that's my wonderful sister Katrina. She named you Non-My Fernandez as our winner of a free video consultation. Please take a screenshot, email it to me so I can see it's your username. We'll schedule a private chat about this. USCIS is sensitive about this issue because if you remarry, they want to make sure the first marriage is real. Some officers can get really into it, accused of fraud, saying the first marriage is fraud. So you want to have the evidence and backing to show that the original marriage you got the green card from was real. It was not a fake marriage in case that comes up because it could open up Pandora's box for you. So you got to be careful with these kind of cases. Me86 says, is it possible to help my parents from Mexico get papers without joining the military? In this world, anything is possible. Whether it's possible for you, I don't know. We have to go into your personal lives and see what's going on if there's some sort of exception. Shen Willie asks, filed without evidence. Can you upload evidence after online account? I don't typically use an online account. It says you can, but I'm not an online filer typically. And when I file stuff, I file it completely, so I never have that issue. So I don't want to give advice on that per se because it's not something I deal with typically. Can you travel outside the U.S. with your green card if your passports have different names? Well, you gotta probably have a name change. For example, you got married, you change your name at marriage in the United States, your green card is in your marriage name, but the passport's different name. Have the proof of marriage certificate that show the name change with you. Depends on your situation, but you want it to match to avoid confusion, especially at the airport. Not to say like official government stuff. At the airport could get confusing. Sandra says, do you need to wait 90 days before filing for adjustment of status on behalf of your parents? I'm not going to get into this 90-day stuff to try to play games to avoid any rules. If someone comes with a tourist visa and you quickly file for adjustment of status, maybe it'll be problematic. I'm just going to leave it at that because it's going to go too much into case-specific guidance here that it's not appropriate for me to give here. Farkas, I got married to a U.S. citizen in Pakistan. I applied for my green card, and then I got divorced. Okay, your case is done then if you didn't finish it. Johnny says, is it true that European nations have an easier time with U.S. status? No, not necessarily. Adium says, my I-485 is still pending, and the Social Security office asked for my status is. I came here with ESTA, but my I-94 is expired now. I got married before it expired to my husband. You're out of status right now. So you're in a period of authorized stay where they'll let you stay until a decision is made. They could kick you out if they want to, but you don't have status right now. You shouldn't go to the Social Security office. That's not appropriate. What you got to do is wait to get a work authorization or the green card approved, and then go with either a work authorization or a green card, but you have no status at this time. Idea, you're in luck. My wonderful sister Katrina named you as our winner for a free video consultation. So please, take a screenshot of where you're watching this and email it to me at info@jqklaw.com so I can send you information on scheduling a private video consultation. Quick question on Instagram. Roya says, citizen parent low income can apply for a child 19 years old. Maybe if you're a citizen, you can file for minor child. I'm sure the low income part comes in. I don't know if you could do it. That's a individual question. But generally, a parent could file for their minor children. The rest of the income and stuff, that's an individual case review. And I'll take one more question, maybe a couple more, but let's see what's the next one that's coming up. Johnny says, I thought ESTAs could not adjust status. You can if you're adjusting status based on marriage to a U.S. citizen or being a parent of a U.S. citizen or a minor child of a U.S. citizen. Evangeline says, I have a derivative in the Philippines. I have derivative in Philippines. If HK will allow me to transfer interview, will it have conflict with my derivative interview schedule in Manila? I don't know exactly what's going on in your case. It's a very bizarre situation. It's not a typical situation, so it's too much to go into here. You need to talk to the attorney in private to go over the whole case history with you. Ayub says, I applied for my I-90 for getting green card for 10 years, but should I apply for I-751? Yeah, you probably did the wrong one. If you have a 2-year green card, you have to file for I-751 before your green card expires. Filing for I-90 is going to lead to a denial and a lot of problems. You need to get on top of that as soon as possible, Ayub, to fix that up. Z asks, I'm a U.S. citizen and my husband has his 2-year green card. Would I apply to apply for them? I'm not sure that question, but if they already have a 2-year green card, before it expires, you got to file for I-751 to keep the green card. And Asami says, how long should you wait after marrying a U.S. citizen to apply for I-485? It's different for every case. It really depends what's going on there. There's underpinnings. I know what you're talking about, the 90-day rule, stuff like that. It's not appropriate for me to give individual case advice on that. But if it's appropriate, file it, Elizabeth says, what's the next step when there's an I-130 approved, but there's withholding of removal? You need to talk with attorney in private. That's the next step. If you have removal history, you shouldn't try to do this any of this yourself. MA6 says, is it possible to help my parents from Mexico get papers to join the military? We answered that already, saying it depends on your case. Instagram, Aliana says, I filed dual filing I-130, I-485 for my stepson that has been accepted. Payment has been drafted. Does it indicate anything about a timeline for decision? Nope. You just got to wait. That's all you got to do. They may do some fingerprinting appointments, but there's no answer to that. Let's see. We got a lot of people watching on TikTok and everywhere else. Thank you so much. We'll take one more question, and we'll call it a day. We'll be back next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Same place, same channel. We take your question live. If you want to schedule a private consultation, email me at info@jqklaw.com. That's info, I-N-F-O, at J as in Jack, Q as in Queen, K as in King, Law is LAW.com. JK Law is my firm. And we're here to help people reach their dreams, one step closer to their dreams through the immigration process. Edwin asks, I'm a PR or a resident. I want to file for my wife. How long does it take from Zimbabwe? It's going to take forever, or 2 to 5 years. And it's going to be a long, not 2 years, more 3 to 5 years probably for Zimbabwe. Nightmare of a wait time. But it's unfortunately super backed up in Zimbabwe. You got to go with the embassy situation. It's just going to be a mess. But yeah, tell your wife to be prepared. A lot of wives in these kind of cases get very frustrated, think the husband's lying to them. We have to talk with them and say, no, this immigration system is hugely backlogged. People have the expectation that the United States is very efficient and we know what we're doing here when it comes to law and stuff like that. We don't at all. It's just a hodgepodge of a lot of different things. So be prepared for a long wait. And it's going to affect your relationship. A lot of couples get very frustrated about this process. The last question, I guess, Frankie says, case being held for further review after interview? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know what that question is, but unfortunately, hopefully that's not the case. Roy says, can we translate documents for Form I-130 by ourselves? Don't do that. Have a friend do it. Have someone else have a translation certificate. If you download the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide, Alina, there's a sample certificate of translation that a friend that speaks your same languages could complete and translate. So do that. Don't do yourself. Don't do someone related to the case. That's not the way to do it. It can lead to problems. And hey, we'll take over question. IMSC says, can you change a J1 visa to a student visa while still in the U.S. country? J1 hasn't expired. It may be possible, nightmare to do, but it may be possible. There's huge delays in changing status, and your J1 may have issues that prevent changing status. So it's just like, it's possible, yeah, but whether you could do it on your case facts, we got to see it first and be prepared for a lot of nonsense and delays to get that done. And last thing is Evangeline says, thank you, attorney. God bless. God bless you as well. That's it for today. Thank you for joining us. Again, come back next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. We take your immigration questions. I think I got a ton in. Hopefully I didn't speak too fast. So we'll see what the comments say about this. But like and subscribe. We get more likes and subscribers on YouTube. Helps out. It makes me more, want to do this even more, knowing that people are listening and we have a good flow of questions. So if you want to schedule a private consultation, email me, info@jqqlaw. Again, that's info@jqqlaw. And God bless you all. Tammy, God bless you too. And Tammy, I think you're our winner for our free consultation. Anami Fernandez and ADM. Take screenshots so I can see your usernames. Email it to me, info@jqqlaw.com, and we'll talk for free. So next one, God bless, be safe, and wish you all the best. Bye-bye.